Hi guys, and welcome to Watch It Wednesday, Finish It Friday, episode 67. So of course today is Friday, so it's Finish It Friday, and we're going to show you where we left off on Wednesday. Do want to let you know though, I did some prep on my base card. I'm going to show you how I did this, but I can't show you in full because it's kind of a long process. So it takes a lot of drying time. So I'll show you a snippet of how we do this. All right, so we have our base card. We have our 4x3.5 cardstock. This could also be DSP. We have your basic white, very vanilla or light cardstock that's 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And we have a sentiment strip that can stay at 4 by 1 inch or can be, cut down if necessary. All right, so let me show you how I did this technique. This is one of those items that you forget about. You buy it when the catalog comes out, and it's been out for I think 3 years, but you kind of forget that you have it. So let me move this out of the way. It is a messy process. So you want to make sure that you don't have any fans or you're not in the middle of a sneezing fit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're bringing out our silicone mat and our multi-purpose glue. And what you're going to do is you're going to take an old sponge, whatever sponge you have laying around. This is a different piece of cardstock here. And you're going to spread out that glue and you're going to pounce it on your cardstock. And what takes the longest here is the drying time. So we're going to see if we can kind of hurry it up a little bit. So you can see that a full card base of this really takes a while, but you want it to get to where it's just tacky. All right, so that feels a little bit tacky, so we might be able to do it in that corner. Okay, then I bring out my tidy tray. I use a different pair of reverse tweezers. I don't use my good ones from Stampin' Up! Just because I want to be able to keep those clean. So what I'm going to do here is we have this tacky corner here. I'm going to take out your gold leafing. I'm sorry, your gilded leafing, not gold leafing, gilded leafing. Now this is very, it reacts to static in the air temperature a lot. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of press it down where you've placed your glue. Now some people use your heat and stick powder for this. I find that it's very hard to have that fine line between when it's embossed and just sticky and when it's actually overheated and then doesn't have any stick at all. All right, I think I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to cover this back up. If I need to pour some back in, I will. So then I go ahead and I take a dauber that has not been used for anything but gold leafing. And if you've allowed it long enough, you're going to pounce down on it. You're going to pounce down and then brush away. And again, some of that off there. Again, we're going to pounce down and then kind of start rubbing. You want to pounce first so you know that it's inside that glue, that tacky glue. You don't want the glue to be wet. You want it to be tacky. And if you put it on in lines, if you do like a thin line and you want to make like wavy lines, you will need to let that get to that clear state where it's tacky. I find with the with using the sponge, it does go a little faster, but not completely. All right, so then go ahead, get all that extra off, and then you can go ahead and put your remaining back in there. I'm going to let you know that when you do this though, not always will it fall down in, because it gets sometimes stuck inside of that little crevice of your tidy tray, or whatever this is called. So let me go ahead and close that back up. And then, because you don't want this to contaminate any of your powders later on, I always go through with a dryer sheet that has been through the dryer, and I just kind of clear that all out. Do I lose a little bit of the gold, the gild leafing? Yes. Is it going to take away my storage? No. Look, I've had this for over a year and a half, and it looks like there's hardly any gone. So I'm not too worried about that. So that is how I did, and you can kind of see. I don't think it's getting in focus very good. There we go. You can kind of see how that background is. All right. So let's go ahead. Here's our base card. And I've decided that when I do these, I'm going to try to stick to pretty much the same items when I'm creating my... I'm going to try. Doesn't always work, but I'm going to try to stay with the same items so you can see over and over how to use one set or one item to get different results. So let me bring out my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I'm going to bring out, oh my gosh, I can't remember what this is called, and I don't have my mini catalog. Layering Florals. This came out yesterday. So when the catalog went live, the January to April, this is in there. So I think it's called Layering Florals. Something along that. So I'm going to take that piece of white and I'm going to run it through. So with a 3D one like this, you're going to have your platform one and you're going to have your embossing plate 4. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way so you can see it. Sorry. I'm trying to put my plates back up over here without being too loud, and I was loud. Sorry. Move the microphone so everything's closer to me, so you're going to hear more of the noise when I put things away. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's see if you can see that. See that 3D embossing folder. It's very, very cool. So then I am going to take my daubers. Let me see if this is the one. Yes, so here's my Tahitian Tide. I have a little residual color on there. I don't think I want to add any color until I see what it looks like, but I'm just going to rub this over. Now, if this was clean, you would just go ahead and tap it off in the lid of your stamp pad. But since I had some residual color on here, I'm just going over those lines somewhat softly. So I just want to get a touch of color on there. Let me go ahead and bring it up. You can see there's not a lot of color. I can see it closer here, but it's not really showing up on the camera very good. Let me see if I can, there. I'm going to press just a little bit harder. I don't want it to be overwhelming though. I want it just to be like a background effect. All right, now let me bring it up. I wish you could see, it's really showing up good here. I don't know if I need to turn my light up. Oh, there you can probably see it. See how it's just a little light touch of that Tahitian Tide on there. Not going for a dark look. All right, so let's go ahead. Now, usually when I run things through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, I don't use my seal on the back. But this is a pretty, it's not a tight pattern. It's more of a open pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that straight on there. You know what? I think I want to just do just a little bit more. And maybe I will. Let me go grab my Tahitian Tide pad. Because I feel like I do want just a little bit. So I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to take a lot of that color off. There. That's kind of what I wanted. I don't want it fully colored, but I want it to look light. So now you can see that a little bit better. There's a little bit of a shadow from my phone. Sorry. All right. So let's go ahead and put this down here. Let's see, how do I want this? I think I want it, yeah, I think I want it like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this straight down. Okay, and here's my 4" by 1" sentiment piece. Sorry, I have stuff going on over here. I'm going to take out the So Sincere. This was in the September to December mini catalog, and it is getting carried over. Very excited. It has a vertical happy birthday, which is like, sorry, I'm right by my microphone, which makes me very, very happy that they kept that. And I'm going to go ahead and use basic gray for my word. Sorry. We go here. Very light touch. I'm going to go more up to the top because I'm going to make this into somewhat of a tag look. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to grab my Heartfelt Hexagon, and I'm just going to kind of bring that in both corners there like that. Can you see how I have the edge of the paper on both sides there? Go like that. And then I'm going to bring this one down a little bit more because I want to get near that Y. So it's not going to be exact, but it's going to be pretty close. And then I think, where did that go? I'm going to go ahead and I'll use this. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of that coloring on the edge left over from that finger dauber. Not overwhelming, but just a little bit of a light move there, a light look. I'm going to go ahead, grab a couple dimensionals. So like I said, if you want to look at that folder, it's in the January to April mini catalog, which is now live. That 3D embossing folder is just amazing. And I always say I'm not a flowery person, but I gravitate to flowers when I stamp because it's kind of universal. Alright, so I've taken off those backings. I'm going to kind of line it up and then press it down. Alright, let me get some of this out of the way over here. And there is that card. So much fun. Alright, so then again, using the same embossing folder, we went ahead and did this. Now what I did here was that I took that Tahitian Tide. Oh, I have a piece of tape on the back of my folder. I took that Tahitian Tide pad and I rubbed it on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo, so the top side. Rubbed it on there, put the paper in there, ran it through, and it gave you that look. And then here, this was kind of an oops. So I took Blackberry Bliss and I swiped it across the pad, like you can see. And then I went and took my, oh, where did it go? It was on my desk. I moved it. I took my square nail file. Huh. I don't know where I put it. It was just over here. You know what? I'll find it the minute I go to clean up, of course. So I went through the folder. I ran the pad across this first to do the coloring. Took it across the folder, took the square nail file, you know, sanded it down, and then I went to wipe off the dust. And instead of picking up my paper towel, I picked up my baby wipe. So I got it discolored. So then I had the color back where I had taken my file and rubbed it down. So then I went and filed it down again, and I got this look. So you can tell the Blackberry Bliss went lighter because I introduced water to it. So not what I wanted to do necessarily. I wanted this to come through as white with a colored background, but it kind of got a little rearranged. So it is what it is, and kind of a nice antique look, but this originally was going to be sanded down, filed down, so that this was white coming through. Alright guys, there you are. Thanks for sticking with me during this video. Have a great Friday. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share your video with your friends or on social media. Most of all, have a great day. We'll see you this weekend.